The plot of
Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back.
Unscripted. Spoilers, obs, go.
So the game begins, and just like in the first game, Cortex falls to his doom, but he falls into a cave, and then he sees a crystal. And then he makes an annoyed grunt, and then a year happens, and then he's talking to his good pal Engine, and Engine's like, dude, we need like 25 more of these. And then Cortex is like, relax, I know a guy. And then we cut to Crash and Coco on Earth, and Coco's like, Crash, why don't you be useful for once? Give me a battery, you lazy bum. And then Crash goes off and he doesn't find a battery, but he gets kidnapped. And it turns out that the person who kidnapped him was Cortex himself. But it turns out that he's actually trying to save the world, and he needs Crash's help into gathering 25 crystals. And then he goes off, he gets a crystal, and then Cortex is all like, well done, you did it. Now get more. And then Embryo's like, don't get the gems, get the no, don't get the crystals, get the gems. You're supposed to only get the gems. But since I can't get the crystals without moving forward, I guess I'm gonna just get the crystals then. And Crash goes off to another level with the snowy place and a penguin that spins around, which is copyrighted, by the way. And then he goes off, and then he finds 5 more crystals, one of which he got chased by a boulder in order to get one. And then Cortex is all like, okay, so I'm gonna take it to the next level. But it turns out that going through room to room doesn't exactly keep you safe. So you're gonna face someone. And then it turns out that the person that he's gonna face against is Ripperoo after all this time, who has split personality disorder. That's funny. And then Crash blows him up again. And then he goes off into the next area and does more stuff, and then he rides a polar bear, and that was fun. And then he goes up into the next area, and he fights off with the Komodo brothers, and he beats the Komodo brothers. And Crash, he goes into the next stage, and then he goes through the new ruins level, and boy are his arms tired. That was funny stuff. Funny stuff. Funny stuff. So anyway, they goes off and he faces off with Tiny Tiger or Taz Tiger, I don't know, and then he beats him by falling to his death. And then Cortex is all like, alright, so I figured out that it was Embryo, the guy who was behind the whole entire first game, and he's using his minions to use his forces against us. So now, I got a plan, and I'll let you know later on. And then Crash beats the 5 levels, and then he's like, okay, how about this? Just bring the crystals to Engine, and then we'll be good, okay? And then Crash goes into there, and then he tries to deliver the crystals, but I don't know how you deliver the crystal. Maybe just doing this. Oh. I wasn't supposed to do that, now was I? Well, Engine is dead. And Cortex is all like, you idiot, you were supposed to do the thing that I was supposed to tell you to do. Yeah, and then Coco comes in and she's all like, hey, by the way, Cortex wasn't trying to save the world, he was actually trying to control everyone on the planet, so there you go. And then Crash goes through 5 more stages, one of them is the jetpack, which is very important later on, trust me. And then Crash goes to the next level, and then he faces off with Cortex inside like a tube where he's got to ride a jetpack and avoid meteors, and he's got to beat Cortex to the end for some reason, even though that Crash is the one with the crystals. Okay, and then Crash spins him 3 times, and then he sends him off all into space, and then he's like, "Curse you, Crash Bandicoot!" And then Crash says, why don't you take a 12-step seminar off a 10-step pair? Ha! And then he gets back, and then Coco's like, what about the Cortex Vortex? It's still up there. And then, if you collect all the gems and give them to Embryo, you get to have a laser and then blow it up. And thus ends Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back on PlayStation 1. Bye-bye.